Hello, once again. It is time for another adventure here on the Coach's Perspective on Riverside TV. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Gorham, joined by my partner in crime, my best friend in the whole world, the great Pep Fernandez. How are you doing, my friend Pep?
I'm doing great, Jeff. Listen, I'm probably being overly dramatic here, but this is the I'm always overly dramatic, but this is the biggest week of high school football that we have had this season. The biggest week.
Well, do you know why it's big? It's not only do we have the battle of the Kens, Norte Vista versus Ramona, but our other game, I hate to say secondary, but our other game is Hillcrest versus Hemet High School, and that is another juicy game. We have two of the best games in the area, both live on Riverside TV this Friday night.
You know, I've said this before. You can't crown a league champion in week 7, but this is as close as you can get to crowning a league champion in week 7, because both those games in the River Valley League, Norte Vista, Ramona, both 6-0 going head-to-head. A winner will be in the driver's seat for that River Valley League championship. And I think the same can be said over in the Sun Belt League when we're going to see Hemet, taking on Hillcrest. I know Rancho Christian's coming on strong, but again, this has major league title implications coming up this week.
Well, we do, like I said, let's start off with the Battle of the Kens, and we've had some fun with it the last couple of weeks, and somebody's going to go home with a fine trophy. We have some great graphics, but this Norte Vista team is undefeated. Ramona's undefeated. Ramona has a state championship, a CIF championship. Ken Batdorf lacks a CIF and state championship. The one thing I think Ken Mashinsky wants is a share or a league outright championship of the River Valley League. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, Jeff, the landscape of high school football right now, especially with this new CIF Southern Section playoff format, is, I mean, you can have both in terms of a league title and also a CIF Southern Section title. But really, with the landscape right now, it's almost like you have to play for one or the other. And for Norte Vista, they're hanging those league title banners, and it's been great. They've had a great run, But for Ramona, you're right. They have the CIF Southern Section title. They have that state championship as well. So it's almost like you have to play. What means more? Can you get up a little? Can you get a little beat up in league play and beat up a little bit in non-league and get to the playoffs with a 5-5 or a 6-4 record and make a championship run in CIF? Yeah, it's possible with this new playoff format. I mean, that is definitely on the table. Or do you want to go 10-0 or 9-1 and win that league title and then get placed in a really high playoff division and lose in the first round? I mean, that's just kind of where we're at right now in this new playoff format.
Well, yeah, and you think about it this way. Ken Mashinsky got in last year as an at-large, wins a CIF and a state championship. They get all of the what do they say? What do the kids say when you get your flowers? They got their
flowers.
They got their flowers. But the thing is, Ken Batdorf and those Norte Vista Braves, remember, they won the league last year and had to go on the road and got bumped. There's a lot of anger on both sides. Not anger, but competitiveness. You have Ramona that wants to win that league championship outright, and then you have Ken Batdorf and the Norte Vista Braves who, say, hey, they have a ring. We have to go after what they want, and that's who they're going to have to beat. There is a lot of animosity, to work on this game. It's got to be just fun in there, don't you think?
I think so, and I definitely remember, Norte Vista going Division IV in the playoffs last year and going on the road to the top seed, Loyola. It's like, oh my gosh, that's how you reward a league champion, D4 and on the road against the number 1 seed. So, again, I think there's maybe a scenario where you can have both be great during the regular season and also, set up to have a great CIF run as well. But it seems like the last couple of years you have to pick one or the other. And for Ramona, maybe Novi's a little jealous of what they did, but it sounds like Ramona might be a little envious of what Novi's been able to accomplish, winning all those league championships, winning those head-to-head battles. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And the fact that they're both undefeated, they're both 6-0 going into this game. I mean, that's another layer to this, that they're both working on an undefeated season. So I think it's going to be awesome. Two of the best teams in Riverside, if not the two best, they're right up there. And the fact that this is going to be for first place in the River Valley League, we're as close to crowning a league champion in week 7 as you can be.
But hey, Ramona has a lot to win here and a lot to lose. I mean, they were fourth place, or I should say, an at-large last year in the River Valley, but this year, Ramona and Novi. This is for all the marbles, for really for everything. I mean, it's a win tomorrow or win Friday, you're a league champ.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, again, you can't crown a league champion in week 7, but we're almost going to crown a league champion in week 7 because whoever wins this game will be the front runner to bring home that River Valley League title. And that's the same scenario playing out over in the Sun Belt League. I know we're only going into the second week of league play, but these are already big, meaningful games that'll have, major league title implications.
Now, how good is Hemet, Pep? We've seen Hillcrest a few times this year, but everybody's talking about how good Hemet is. It's kind of hard to watch them. How good are they? You know a little bit about them.
Jeff, Hemet has all the hallmarks of a championship team. They've played great defense. We've gotten highlights of Hemet several times. They play great defense. I saw them a little bit against Riverside Poly last week, and they can score a lot of points. They got a big-time quarterback in Draven Lopez and a wide receiver one, as the kids would like to say, like a star receiver in Kiso Pitchford. So if you play defense and you're going to put points on the board, you're going to beat a lot of teams, and that's why they are undefeated. We're talking about Norte Vista and Ramona being 6-0. Hemet is also 6-0 going into this game against Hillcrest. But I don't know. I think Hillcrest might be the toughest team they've played so far this season. So we're going to find out how good the Bulldogs are. If they can get past Hillcrest, I'm not going to say it's smooth sailing to that league championship, but they will definitely be that front runner, the team to catch.
And talking about that Hillcrest team, we've seen them like several times on so far this season on Riverside TV. Travis Carter, he's got some really, really crafty, athletic guys on that team that are really. I mean, they can change a game in like 30 seconds.
And we might see that. We might see a shootout between Hillcrest and Hemet. They both have great offensive players. We talk about Matt Ramos, the do-everything quarterback for Hillcrest, but he's, running back, receiver. Hillcrest is strong everywhere, but so is Hemet. And the wrinkle with Hemet, too, is, they've played some pretty good defense. They held Tockwitz to only 7 points earlier this season. So it's like if you want to get into a shootout with Hemet, they can do that. If you want to get into a low-scoring defensive, field position battle with Hemet, they can do that too. So I think it's really going to be up to Hillcrest to kind of dictate what kind of game they want to play against the Bulldogs.
Well, I do love me some Juju Sandoval. Yuli Sandoval is fun to watch. Had 167 yards last week against a very good Arlington team. But we have 2 great games. Think of it this way: 24 wins, 0 losses. Going into Friday night, we're going to be at 26 wins and 2 losses after that, as we have Novi versus the great Ramona Rams, and then Hemet versus Hillcrest. Wow, great one. We have Coach Mashinsky coming up. Pep, can we join you afterwards? And I'm going to give you my prediction. We're going to talk about the Boost Top 25 this week here. More on the Coach's Perspective on Riverside TV. And welcome back to the Coach's Perspective here on Riverside TV, as we are joined by my buddy I see daily, my favorite dad outside of myself, the great Ken Batdorf. Before we start, how's your daughter Brooke doing? How's school at Norte Vista for her?
She's got straight A's. She's doing great. She's acclimating to the student body well, and she's enjoying herself.
But let's talk about the Battle of the Kens. Ken Batdorf versus Ken Mashinsky. Look at these, says no. But you know what? For the TV sake, we're saying yes, my friend. How much fun is it to play for, and this is true, it's a league championship in week 6 or week 7 or whatever we're in.
Learn how to count, for God's sakes.
All right, but listen, it's a league championship game. Those guys won a CIF championship last year and a state championship. They want that River Valley League title, and you want that elusive ring that we all have had.
Yeah, I haven't got one yet. I got a wedding ring. Does that count?
That is much better, actually. So we'll give you a plus on that one. But well, Coach, how fun!
Great wife. She's awesome. So for what happens, I won. So there's a positive.
Well, Coach, I know we kind of have fun with it on the side with the Battle of the Kens, but it's all about the kids, and you guys have really 2 really good programs. Let's talk about Ken Mashinsky. What do you think? He's been there 6 years now, 7th year, 6th year. What are your thoughts on how he's transformed that program?
He's done a phenomenal job. He really has. The kids are extremely well coached. They do a great job. I can't say enough good things about him. And he does. He does a great job. The kids come ready to play every week. He's really turned the program around. He's had a ton of stability. Ken's one of the best coaches in Riverside County.
Well, Coach, you and I see each other every day. We talk on the phone all the time. I'm always biased towards you because I know of the hard work you put in for your kids. You make sure they're fed. You make sure they're cultured. You make sure they make good grades. And all in that big brain of yours, Ken Batdorf, congratulations on everything you do, first of all. But tell us a little bit about this team. You're undefeated. Ramona's undefeated. Hillcrest Hillcrest should be undefeated, but they're not. And Hammond, undefeated. Pretty darn good teams here on Riverside TV this week. How much fun is it still coaching Norte Vista?
It's fun. Like right now, I'm yelling at kids because we're just doing stupid things. We have kids hitting knees, and they're like, "Oh, it hurts. Cover your knee." There's knee pads for a reason. But you know what? We have kids that I love. I love our kids. I've had some of these kids now for 4 years. A bunch of our linemen have started for me since their sophomore year. And when they were moving my hands, getting a little tired, but when they were freshmen, we realized we had no linemen coming back really. And they made a huge commitment to start as sophomores, and 4 of them did. And we met every Saturday starting in late January, and every Saturday we've been working out since. And they're just a really special group of kids. Love them to death. Tell them almost every day that I love them, and I think they know it.
Well, Coach, you do so much for your kids. It's not just on the football field, like we said, but talking about you've had so many league championships. How much is it fun going into a game like this against Ramona? Like, do the kids get extra excited, or practices different? How is it for you, honestly, at home? Give us pull back the curtain. What's it like?
It's tough because you want to go out, you want to win, but it's not at all costs. So if you have a kid that's dinged up, you have to sit there and really evaluate it and go, what's the most important thing? I would bet millions of dollars that Ramona and us will both be in the playoffs, and you got to look at both pictures. I won the league title, and so does Ken. I promise people, and I will never ever lose a game on purpose. So, and Ken's the same way. We're going to go out and be ultra competitive. And when you're going against a great program and a great coach, you got to get yourselves ready. And I mean, it's after 6. Normally we try to end at 6, and we're still going because we're not ready. And right now we're trying to do all the little extra things that we need to do to be successful.
Well, Coach, like I said, you and I are dear friends. We lost one of our best friends, your best friend, Ron Main, earlier this year. You and I haven't talked about this on air very much, but you made an impression on him beyond life, and you said, "Hey, we're going to play as hard as we can all year." Can you share a little bit of that?
A lot of coaches I know out there, and I'm not going to say anybody's name, it would be inappropriate, but they're losing games on purpose. And it puts you in an easier division, and you might have a better chance to win CIF. And that just bothers me. You go out and play to win. What are we teaching our kids? Anyway, Ron and I were joking about it, and literally on his deathbed, he looked at me and said, "You don't lose on purpose. That's not what Norte Vista does. That's not what you do." And I promised him. I said, "Ron, I will never lose a game on purpose." We talked a lot about the new system. Neither one of us like it, but at the end of the day, it's the system we have. So, Ron and I talked a lot about it. At the end of the day, I'm hoping we do everything right, and we come out and, we could go 10-0 and get in the playoffs and do like Ramona did and win an extra, 6 games. That would be phenomenal. That would be like, there's nothing better.
Well, Coach, you can win the league championship and get sent on the road again.
It is what it is.
Well, Coach,
you do the best you can with what you got, and I can't control that. All I control is how we play, and hopefully we play good football.
Well, I will say this: you and I, the one thing I can say about you is you hold your integrity better than anyone I know. You're a great, like I said, a great father, a great husband, a great coach, and a great teacher. And I'm so happy to call you my friend. And I can't wait to see the Battle of the Kens Friday night. And I'm going to give my prediction at the end of this show. I can't tell you now because I might want to be able to go home and stay asleep. I don't want to have you send off the crazy Braves on me.
Well, they are a little crazy, but again, sometimes like right now, I can just show you a play. We look perfect. We blocked it great, and other times we don't. So anyway, I'm doing an interview, and we have a fight breaking out in the field. You gotta love it. You gotta love doing it.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Ken Batdorf, before I let you go and break up the fights, our friend Ron Main always said,
it's over, but it's just the intensity that people have right now. And, you know, we get pretty pumped up for this game. And I'll be honest, I'm sure Ramona is as well. And you know what? At the end of it, I'm gonna hug Ken Moshinsky. I'm gonna wish him all the luck in the playoffs, and I hope he wins another CF title, and I hope we do too.
well, stop the shenanigans and stop fighting, Coach. I'm going to say something
On the field, okay? There was
whatever. Hey,
it was in the wrapper. You got
hey.
That's fighting words. I mean, come on now.
Okay, before we go, our dear friend Ron Main always said, make sure you tell your friends you love them. I love you, Ken Batdorf.
Love you too, Gorham. Appreciate everything. And right now we're going against the entire JV defense. It's one of the things we do. Just so you know, take a quick look. The entire JV is going to come out there and play against our offense. And it's kind of fun. We do that and try to get the mindset that I don't care how many guys or who's out there, we're going to score. And hopefully we can do that Friday night.
Well, I hope you do, Coach. And always have a great night. And go Braves as you battle Ramona High School Friday night. And we're back here on the Coach's Perspective on Riverside TV with the biggest game in the world this week. It's between the Norte Vista Braves and my Ramona Rams. And we are now joined by the captain of the helm of the Rams. It looks like he's in a parking lot somewhere. Oh, he's behind the stadium over at Ramona High School. He's the great Ken Moshinsky. How are you doing, Coach?
Hey, good, Jeff. Thanks for having me on here. Yeah, I'm at the stadium. We're, having our second practice of the week, getting ready for a showdown versus Norte Vista.
Well, before we do say anything, congratulations on getting selected on the Wall of Distinction for the Riverside Sport Hall of Fame, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate that. Jennifer and I are pretty stoked about that. It's been a great time here in Riverside, and it's such an honor to be put on the Wall of Distinction. We're really, really happy with it. So thank you very much.
Well, I have to pull the curtain back a little bit. I called Mush this weekend, and I FaceTimed him, and I got his reaction. It was wonderful. But no one is more deserving than you, except for nobody. You are the man this year. Congrats. Hey, Coach, I know you're busy. You have practice right now, but the biggest game of the year, I honestly, it comes down to this. It's going to be a league championship game, regardless of how it turns out. It's just a league championship game, and it will be Friday night against your friend Ken Batdorf, the Battle of the Kens.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to it. Obviously, Ken Batdorf he's been around for a lot of years, and he's just done such great things with Norte Vista. And I've faced off against him when I was at my old schools, and now at Ramona. So we're really looking forward to it. They're loaded with talent. I think we have some talent. I really think it's going to come down to the trenches and who does a better job offensive line, defensive line wise. But either way, it's going to be an electric Friday night here at Ramona. We have Pink Out Night honoring Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And to be able to face Ken Batdorf for a shot at staying undefeated and even a shot at a league championship, it's a great thing. So we're really looking forward to it.
Well, you've achieved everything outside of that. Really, you want to win everything. You've won a state championship, you won a CIF championship, but this is a River Valley League championship, and this would be a great, great notch in your, not only for you as a coach, but you as a program. You have had such buy-in since your tenure at Ramona, and I don't think any program has grown more so than the program that you've built at Ramona. What do you equate that to?
Well, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. It definitely isn't just about me. I've hired a great staff. Our administration here at Ramona is fantastic and super supportive. John Tibbles is just a wonderful AD, and Victor Cisneros has been the principal here since since I got hired. But it's really the kids in the community. They're hard workers. They buy in. And when you have that community buy-in and that player buy-in, it makes our job a lot easier. So plus we haven't really lost a lot of kids. We haven't lost a lot of coaches. And when you have that continuity, I think that kind of breeds success. And that's kind of what we practice. That's what we preach. And fortunately, we've been really successful in it.
Well, is it fun coaching the high school with the best colors by far in the entire city, the best facilities by far in the city, and how much fun is it coaching? You coach your son, you coach your closest friends' kids.
Yeah.
What's it like coaching? I mean, seriously, it's got to be fun for you.
So first off, it's awesome just to coach in Riverside. I mean, I've been at 3 schools in Riverside, at King, North, and now Ramona. So I've been able to face the Pollys and the Arlingtons and Hillcrests and Novies for over 25 years. And it's great. Riverside is a great city. But yes, to be able to coach, obviously my family, my son, and some friends' kids, it's fantastic. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. And it just makes coaching enjoyable. It makes it rewarding. And it makes us want to just keep coming back year after year.
Well, Coach, I'm not going to take any more of your time, but congratulations first off on the Wall of Distinction, and then second off, looking forward to calling that game. Ghazal, Hassan, and myself will be there Friday night. But man, I'm so excited. The toughest thing for me is at the end of the show, I think I'm going to have to pick a winner, and I'm close to both you guys and Norte Vista. But I think I might surprise people. Everybody gets mad if I pick against either team. So I'm going to go on a limb like I do every year.
Well, you've already picked against us. So we're going to love you either way, Jeff. You pick with your head, pick with your heart, and we'll see how it ends up on Friday night.
Well, if I pick with my head or my heart, I don't ever win. So I just got to throw it all out the door. Well, thanks, Coach, and looking forward to seeing you Friday night. I'll be wearing my Ramona Blues, baby.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you Friday night.
He is the great Ken Maszynski, the head coach of my Ramona Rams. And when we come back, we'll have more on the coach's perspective here on Riverside TV. And that is the great Ken Maszynski, who's going on the Wall of Distinction. Pep, you went in last year. He's going in this year. Who's going in the future?
I don't know. All I know is I went in before Coach Mush. Like, what? That's amazing. I got in before him.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is going to be the Battle of the Kens. We talked a little bit about it, but we're going to have some fun with it this Friday night. Is we're going to have unveil a trophy, the Battle of the Kens for the River Valley League Championship. Then you have Hillcrest versus Hemet. That is a juicy one. 24-0 as we go into that. But before we let you go, Pep, let's go over the top 25, the Boost top 25 rankings on the Inland Sports Supercomputer. Any changes? What's going on?
All right, here's the deal. So when you look at the top 10, everything remains unchanged. At this time of the season, they are who you thought they were, right? We kind of know who those teams are going to be in the top 10. We have Norte Vista right now at number 10. If they go 10-0 this season, they get past Ramona in week 7, they go 10-0. They will definitely be in the top 10 at the end of the regular season for sure. Now, I will say 2 of the teams that we're going to see on Riverside TV are also in the top 25 in Ramona and Hemet, who are both 6-0. Ramona, Hemet, and Vista del Lago from Moreno Valley. Those 3 teams are climbing the ladder quicker than any other team in our Boost Top 25 right now. So, again, if you go 6-0, you got to pay some respect, right? You got to honor these guys and show them a little respect for what they're doing this season, regardless of who they're playing. So 6-0 Vista del Lago, 6-0 Ramona, 6-0 Hemet, all climbing up in the top 25 right now. And we're kind of in this predicament where we've got a lot of teams ranked who have great records, like Ramona, like Norte Vista, like Hemet, 6-0. And we've got some other teams, let's say like a Norco, who might be 2-4, but we know that they've played a tough schedule, so they're better than what that record indicates. I almost file Riverside Poly under that one. We had Poly in the top 25 for a week until they lost to Redlands, but I think Poly's a lot better than what their record indicates. They just played some really good teams. So we're in this predicament where you have to balance a really good record against another team who might not have a great record, but they've played some really good competition. So week 7 right now, we're going to start to get a little bit of separation. Who's real and who's a pretender?
Well, I do know that Riverside Poly is going to start a new quarterback, I think this week. I think it's a game changer. We'll talk a little bit after the game, but let's also talk about the rest of the week's games. You have some must-see games that everybody needs to tune into or kind of pay close attention to?
Yeah, obviously the big one in the Big West is going to be Murrieta Valley against Chaparral. I mean, that's a huge game. I don't want to say it's for second place, but it's basically for second place, right? If you want to go ahead and pencil in Centennial as your Big West upper champion. That game is going to be huge. And we got a couple other ones in the Ivy League that are going to be massive, including the Rancho Verde taking on undefeated Vista Del Lago. We're going to find out how good the Ravens are because they're going to go up against a Rancho Verde team who traditionally has had a lot of success. Coach Eric Zomal is one of the best in the business. And the only common opponent, like if you look at La Quinta, Rancho Verde lost to La Quinta. Vista Del Lago beat La Quinta. So if you want to compare, oranges to apples with that common opponent, Vista Del Lago might be the favorite going into this game with the Mustangs.
Well, those are some juicy games, Pep. But remember, Friday night we have the greatest show after 11 o'clock, and that is the Friday Night Pep Rally with you and yours truly. How many games are we going to have highlights for this week? Roughly?
I think we're going to have between 10 and a dozen, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that neighborhood. We'll get all, a lot of Riverside scores and highlights. We'll mix in a couple other ones from their corresponding leagues. But we've got a lot. Again, the biggest week of high school football so far this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have the biggest week. I'm going to give you who I think is going to win. People are going to be mad at me, but I'm going to say this. Check out Pep Fernandez every single week on the Inland Sports Show, the best independent sports show in the entire world. He is my best friend in the world, Pep Fernandez. Pep, how do we find you? What days? And when are we going to watch the Inland Sports Show?
Wednesday nights, 7:05 p.m., Inland Sports on YouTube. We talk a lot about these Riverside schools, and for good reason, because they keep winning. Also talk a little RCC football as well. The Tigers keep winning as well.
Well, Pep, it is always a pleasure. Now, here is my final thought. Ramona Norte Vista. Norte Vista is I have said from the beginning, was my second favorite team or second best team. I thought King was the first. I have seen Norte Vista. I had thought they were the first, but I have seen Goliath and I have seen Ramona High School. They beat Hillcrest. They beat Riverside Poly in the revenge match. And guess what? I'm picking a slim victory to break up the River Valley League Championship. Ken Batdorf might go defeat to the Ramona Rams. I'm picking the Rams in a victory. Go Rams, baby! Whoa! Friday night. Check it out. We're going to have Norte Vista versus Ramona. I'll be in the booth on Ramona's side. Don't hate me, Norte Vista. I love you, Ken Batdorf. I think your daughter and wife are wonderful, but the Rams are going to win. Pep Fernandez, what are your final thoughts?
Hey, Jeff, in spite of you, I want to be beloved on the Novi campus. I'll go Braves.
All right. Well, he's picked Novi. I picked the Rams. By the way, I'm in the Hall of Fame at Ramona. If Norte Vista puts me in their Hall of Fame, I might have picked them, but go Rams, and we'll see you Friday night live and amplified here on Riverside TV as the Rams and Braves go against each other. And then the Trojans and the Bulldogs of Hemet here live on Riverside TV. Good night, everybody. Peace out. Go Rams.